I think it's different though with Ted DiBiase and his partner Cody Rhodes. Those guys need to be put over.
Yeah, I like Ted. I think he's cool. Not the biggest fan of Cody, especially on the mic, but yeah, I think DiBiase's got great potential going forward. One thing that I'm kind of curious about is where Orton's going to land on the WrestleMania card. No mention of him in any matches yet, and a huge name that certainly, I know they don't need to even try to look for big pay-per-views when it comes to WrestleMania. Thing sells itself each and every year, but yeah, certainly a little bit worrying not to see Orton on the card just yet, and even more so how it's going to work. Is he going to end up with Orton and DiBiase, Orton and Rhodes, another handicap match 2-on-1? I think Orton deserves a little better than your average Raw match with the remainder of Legacy, definitely.
Absolutely, and if you have just joined us on the podcast or live on justin.tv, we're now talking about WWE RAW and Impact, both in the same segment this week. Of course, that big Monday Night War this past week, so we thought it relevant to perhaps analyse the shows as they both happened, and certainly letting you know our observations. Great to get some comments as well in the chat as well. And as we now move on, and well, what was coming next? It's quite tricky to get back on track. There was so much happening at once that I sat here taking it all in, and wow, Chris Angel was awful.
Yeah, jeez, they have to knock this guest host thing on the head. I think it's stale, especially, you know, it kind of, you had your good weeks and you had your bad weeks. Entertaining ones with Ted DiBiase Senior, the $1 Million Man. I thought that was a great one. Jesse Ventura, that was probably the best of the guest hosts. But then you have like Chris Angel or Jewel and whatever that bloody guy's name is. What was that dude's name? The cowboy guy.
Oh, I don't even remember. He was Jules' husband. Who knows? We're in Ireland, and you know, just to break in there on that point, that often these hosts are completely irrelevant to us internationally. I know it's an American show, but we don't know who the hell that cowboy guy was. But anyway,
yeah, we definitely didn't mark out for that guy. I'll tell you that much. But Chris Angel, yeah, you just wonder why that is it. And I think it's fun to see Bischoff poking fun at the whole concept of the guest host, and obviously that XFL failure, but that's another story. But getting back to Raw, good to see Sheamus and Triple H finally making that match for Mania. I think it'll be pretty interesting, and would be nice to see Trips put Sheamus over and break the WrestleMania cherry for the big man.
Yes, certainly. We're big fans of Sheamus. I can certainly understand why some people look at Sheamus and maybe they don't quite buy him. But obviously, being from Ireland, we champion Sheamus, the former WWE champion. But without a doubt, we disagree with how quickly he came to power. Certainly Drew McIntyre getting a much more intelligent build on TV and Smackdown. And with that Intercontinental Championship, which is exactly where he should be now.
There's no stopping Drew. We weren't too keen on Drew for the first two shows, but after Superstar of the Week award from us last week, he's definitely caught our attention. And one thing that just cracks me up is his entrance and the Titantron and the build. It works, and the theme tune. Yeah, the theme tune is cool.
Yes,
and he's a good size. He's pulling it off, surprisingly, from what he was in the original debut to what he is now. It's a different guy.
We're happy that he's getting that spot at WrestleMania. If anything, I suppose it's nice to see a new fresh face in there and working with the right guy in Hunter Hearst Helmsley. He is a guy who, well, he's going to teach him the ropes, and I believe they're already training partners.
Yeah, they hang out a bit from what we hear, and do a bit of gym work, and I'm sure Triple H is taking him under his wing, which is a good thing for Sheamus. He probably will get some criticism, and we know all the talk of the politics in the locker room in WWE can be fairly nasty, and we've read the books and heard the stories for many years, but Sheamus is having the last laugh, and I can see him come out on top for Wrestlemania.
Certainly, it's going to be interesting. We're all going to be waiting to see if Triple H decides to put over Sheamus. Perhaps an unlikely scenario at WrestleMania. We know that Triple H, the company man, he wants to always be seen as being strong, and certainly doesn't like to be on the bad end of a job.
Especially now when it comes to WrestleMania. That's his playground big time. And yeah, it will be interesting. I think I'll watch that match and with curiosity. And I wouldn't have said that when Sheamus debuted on ECW, and if you told me it would be Sheamus and Triple H at Mania, I would have definitely gone, yeah, I don't know about that, but
yes, certainly Sheamus moving into pole position and going forward. We're going to be real interested to see what they do with him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I think one thing they definitely need to do, and we've spoken about this again last week, or I think the week before on the show, where when the draft comes up, if Sheamus goes to Smackdown, I think that's going to be it. Unless they do some very clever booking and get him on board with somebody like Jericho, then he's only going to get lost in the shuffle, and he needs to be on Raw. Sheamus needs to be on Raw, so please, Vince, don't move him to SmackDown. It's not going to be a good thing for Sheamus.
Moving on with our rather mixed up review of Monday Night Raw and TNA Impact. To keep track of both shows as they were going out was a nightmare. I really should be recording one, watching the other, and certainly in the coming weeks I'm going to do just that. Probably it'll be Raw. I mean, TNA at the moment is certainly keeping me interested, if only for the fact that it's a new show almost. It's certainly old faces, but definitely feels a bit different. So we had lots else going on. We had, of course, Angle involved in there. Well, he came out to a procession of the US Army.
Yeah, they're going. I like this little angle, no pun intended, that they have with Ken Anderson and Kurt. I think it's pretty cool. And it's definitely one that will get heat from fans pretty much everywhere when it comes to troops and people with their lives on the line. It hits home with everyone pretty much, and yeah, good to see Ken Anderson's doing a good job there. Definitely playing the big time heel, and yeah, it's good TV. They both are always fun to watch, and would be a really good match, I think, too, from both.
Plenty of people in our Justin.tv live chat at the moment. I want to say hi to CMS Kittle. He's pointed out that HHH has jobbed at most of the WrestleManias lately. Certainly, but you would wonder if he would job to a young star like Sheamus. Maybe he will. We're going to have to wait and see. We got Mr. Faded in there. He's been busy chatting. What else? He says that TNA equals WCW. That's simple. That's what a lot of fans are thinking now, right?
Yeah, you can definitely see similarities, and without a doubt, you can blame Russo and Bischoff, I think, for some of those just sometimes poor bookings, sometimes horrific angles, and we all are seeing what's going on with this Hall of Fame ring, and TNA mentioned the other product, which something again we've discussed, and they continually do it, and it's just ridiculous. You never see WWE doing it, so why do TNA constantly do it? It just puzzles me, but yeah, there is trace of WCW there, definitely. But thank God for your X Division and your knockouts to pull away from the whole WCW vibe. But it's easy to happen when you see Jarrett and Hogan and Flair, and I mean they've all been there, so it's understandable.
Another question, somebody wondering what we